No one dared to stop the billionaire CEO beating his pregnant wife. Until the bikers walked in, the luxury restaurant went silent, not because of the piano music, but because of the screams. A billionaire CEO, known for his charm and power, had suddenly turned into a monster before everyone's eyes. His pregnant wife sobbed quietly, clutching her stomach as he slammed his hand on the table. Waiters froze. Guests looked away. No one dared to move because everyone knew who he was. He owned the city's biggest companies, had politicians on speed dial, and could ruin anyone's life with a single phone call. But just as he raised his hand again, the doors swung open. A group of leather-clad bikers stepped in, men with scars, tattoos, and eyes that had seen too much injustice. What happened next would make headlines, change lives, and prove that sometimes heroes don't wear suits, they ride Harleys. The evening began with laughter and champagne. Edward Kane, the billionaire CEO of Kane Enterprises, had invited top investors to celebrate a new merger. His wife, Amelia, 6 months pregnant, sat quietly beside him, smiling through her pain. Everyone knew their marriage wasn't perfect, but no one expected what was about to unfold. As the night went on, Edward's mood shifted. One wrong comment from Amelia, a gentle reminder for him to stop drinking, set off a storm. He slammed his glass on the table. "You dare embarrass me in front of my board," he hissed. The restaurant went silent. "Edward, please." "The baby, slap." The sound echoed through the room like thunder. Guests turned their faces away. The waiter holding a tray trembled. No one moved because this was Edward Kane, the man who owned half the city. Tears streamed down Amelia's cheeks as she whispered, "Please stop, people are watching." Edward smirked. "Let them watch. No one will do a damn thing," and he was right, no one did. The manager peeked from behind the counter, whispering to the staff, "Stay out of it." "That's Mr. Kane," but in the far corner, a young waitress named Lily clenched her fists. She couldn't stand it anymore. She stepped forward, her voice shaking. "Sir, please. She's pregnant." Edward turned slowly, eyes burning. "Who are you to speak to me?" he growled, grabbing her wrist. Amelia screamed, "Stop it, Edward." But before anything else could happen, the doors burst open, the deep rumble of engines outside stopped, and 6 bikers walked in, leather jackets, steel boots, and determination in their eyes. The leader, known as Reaper, looked around the stunned restaurant. He saw Amelia, trembling, bleeding, terrified, and Edward standing over her like a predator. "Let her go," Reaper said calmly. Edward laughed. "Do you know who I am?" Reaper took a step forward, his boots echoing. "Yeah, you're the kind of man who hits a woman because no one's ever hit you back." The crowd gasped. Edward's bodyguards rushed forward, but the bikers moved faster. Within seconds, the guards were disarmed and the restaurant filled with chaos. Yet Reaper remained calm, eyes locked on Edward. Amelia was helped to a chair by Lily as one of the bikers called an ambulance. Edward snarled, "You'll regret this. I'll destroy your gang." Reaper leaned closer. "We don't destroy people, Mr. Kane, we protect them." One of the bikers, a former soldier, pulled out his phone and began recording. The video captured everything: Edward's rage, his threats, his attempt to strike again. When Edward lunged forward, Reaper caught his arm midair and whispered, "That's enough." The sound of police sirens grew closer. The bikers didn't run. They stood tall beside Amelia, shielding her like a wall of steel. When the officers entered, Edward began shouting, "Arrest them! They assaulted me." But the officer recognized Reaper and, more importantly, he saw the video. "Sir," the cop said coldly, "you're the one under arrest." For the first time, Edward's arrogance cracked. His empire of fear began to crumble. The video went viral overnight. Billionaire CEO attacks pregnant wife. Bikers save her dominated every headline. Public outrage exploded. Investors pulled out, board members resigned, and Kane Enterprises stock plummeted. Amelia, finally safe, was taken to the hospital where doctors assured her and the baby were fine. Reaper visited quietly the next morning. "Thank you," she whispered, holding his hand. "You saved my life." Reaper smiled softly. "No, ma'am. We just reminded people that silence helps the wrong side." The waitress Lily was offered a scholarship by a charity founded by the biker club, Iron Brotherhood, to support women who faced abuse. She left the restaurant that same week, free and inspired. Edward Kane, meanwhile, faced trial. The same people who once bowed before him now refused to make eye contact. His empire collapsed, and he was sentenced for assault and domestic abuse. Months later, Amelia gave birth to a healthy baby boy. She named him Reed, after Reaper, the man who stood up when no one else dared. And as the news cameras faded and the world moved on, the bikers rode into another sunset, silent, humble, ready for the next soul in need. What would you have done if you were in that restaurant? If this story moved you, share it, because sometimes courage is contagious. Don't stay silent against abuse. Speak up, stand tall, and be someone's Reaper.